I think the government is watching me. So around 3 months ago I woke up to the sound of a loud vehicle outside of my house. It was a blacked-out, armored-looking SUV. It stopped at the end of my driveway and didn't drive away for about 5 minutes. It always has its lights off, and it never has its windows down. It drives past at the same time every night. At around 2 a.m. On Mondays, it drives past around 30 minutes late. It's done this on the same schedule every day. Last week I was outside on my porch when it drove by. It stopped and backed into my driveway while was outside having a light. The license plate had a US government stamp on it. When the vehicle stopped, 2 men got out and shined a flashlight at me. I walked inside when this happened and it drove off shortly after. I live alone and this is freaking me out. Wrote this about a week or 2 ago. This is the update. Last night I waited in the bushes next to my driveway. The SUV eventually came and I walked up to the passenger side door. I knocked twice. To my surprise the window rolled down. I looked into the SUV. 5 men were inside. They stared at me. I asked them what they were doing every night driving past my house. One of the men in the back spoke with a laugh and said, "No, we only come on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. The others come on the other days." The other men in the SUV laughed. I pulled out my phone after this and walked to the back of the SUV. I snapped a picture of the license plate. One of the men in the back then jumped out. The driver followed him. They both pulled out what looked to be police batons and held them up. The driver then said, "Delete that picture or we will destroy the phone." I hesitated, then took off from my house. The men didn't expect this. They started running 5 seconds after. I jumped the railing of my porch and made it inside my home. I slammed the door behind me and locked it. The men arrived at the door right as my electric door lock clicked. They laughed on the other side of the door. I then called the police. This is where it got weird. The police arrived and knocked on the door. I opened it and 2 policemen came into my house. They shut the door behind them and took my phone. After about 15 minutes of the officer being on it, he handed it back, then the 2 officers left. The men in the SUV and the actual SUV itself left as well. After going on my phone and investigating, I realized that the police had deleted the photo completely. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm going to get in contact with my buddy that is a cop. I will keep you all reading this posted.